Elanco, we are driven by our vision of food and companionship enriching life.
In this week's news, a drop in global rice production means that skyrocketing rice prices will be the fate of consumers in importing regions. According to Fitch Solutions, the lower production volume and an uptick in consumption has been 2022-23 global rice stocks fall by 3% year on year to 172 million tonnes. This has created the largest supply-demand deficit in 20 years. This is especially stark news for sub-Saharan Africa, which accounts for 37% of global rice imports. However, Wandile Sihlobo, chief economist at Agbiz, does not believe that rising rice prices will have a significant impact on South African consumer food inflation. Sihlobo expects rice alternatives such as wheat and maize to soften the blow for local consumers. Meanwhile, the Crop Estimates Committee has released its third production estimate for summer field crops. The size of the expected commercial maize crop has been set at 15.89 million tonnes, which is 10,250 tonnes more than the previous forecast. The area estimate for maize is 2.586 million hectares, with an expected yield of 6.14 tonnes per hectare. The production forecast for sunflower seed remain unchanged at 797,610 tonnes, while the production forecast for soya beans increased to 2.755 million tonnes. The fourth forecast for summer field crops will be released on 25 May. And in parliamentary news, the Preservation and Development of Agricultural Land Bill was tabled in Parliament during the last week of April. The proposed legislation, among others, aims to promote the preservation and sustainable development of agricultural land. It also hopes to establish an evaluation and classification system for agricultural land and to demarcate protected agricultural land. The Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development has invited the public to comment on the bill. Comments will be received until 21 May this year. Energy matters. Soaring input costs and eroding profit margins took centre stage during a meeting held by Potatoes SA last week. Plaas TV also attended the event and spoke to Willie Jacob, CEO of Potatoes SA, to find out more about the industry's organisation's attempt to keep farmers focused on potato production rather than searching for alternative production lines.
Thank you, Lisa. I think that we were privileged to have probably the best knowledge base here today in terms of understanding the perspective of the energy crisis. The farmers bringing their reality to the fore was quite an important thing for us, because I don't think people understand in what circumstances they operate. For me, I'm a little bit concerned because I don't think there's a short-term solution. There's always a concern about the fact that our energy situation is going to deteriorate. But what excites me is the fact that there's so much new technology coming in, and I think we need to embrace the opportunity to take that in as fast as possible and to make it work for the industry.
And that was Willie Jacobs, CEO of Potatoes SA. Twee Vrystaaters en 'n Noord-Kaapenaar is pas as die finaliste in die tweede Veeplaas Klimaatslim Ambassadeur projek aangekondig. Die projek is aan die begin van 2022 deur Plaas Media van Stapel gestuur in samewerking met die spesialis landboukonsultant Dr. Louis Pisani. Die finaliste is Matthys Grobler van Soutpan, Gerrit van Sail van De Wetsdorp en Piet Roux van Prieska. Die doel van die projek is om veeprodusente te identifiseer wat klimaatslim boerderypraktyke op hul plase implementeer. James Faber, 'n bekende vleisbeesboer en bedryfsleier, is laas jaar as die eerste Veeplaas Klimaatslim Ambassadeur aangewys. The highly acclaimed South African Cheese Festival has new owners. This week, the GDTL Marketing Group and a consortium of private investors announced that they had acquired the festival. The festival will once again take place at the Sandringham Estate in Stellenbosch, but in a new format. The festival will be held over the South African Heritage Weekend from Friday 22nd of September to Monday the 25th of September. RC Malherbe van Rooi Angus in Hertsgwil is die wenner van vanjaar se gesogte vleissentraal SA Stamboek Nasionale Elite bulgroeitoetsklas. RC se Rooi Angus-bul Honeycomb het vir die oorwinning gesorg toe hy 19 ander topbulle in die proses geklop het. Die kompetisie het maandag 1 Mei by die Bloemskou plaasgevind en die toekennings is tydens die jaarlikse SA Stamboek Elite toekennings oorhandig. Christelise Miller het met RC gesels.
Ja, dit is 'n groot eerbewys. Ek meen dis genade van bo. Alles wat ons het, ek meen kom van bo en dis net 'n genade om met die Here se skepping te kan werk. Ja, ek dink dis my pa en my oupa se harde werk 'n klomp jare terug. Ek meen hulle stoeterye begin. Ek gaan net daarmee aan en dis baie lekker so. Ek dink dis klomp jare se harde werk en passie vir teeling. Maar ja, baie bly. Ek dink dit is 'n baie groot bewys. Ek dink ons het 5-6 jaar terug ook die wenner gehad. Om tussen 20 rasse die beste bil hier te hê, is regtig 'n op die skouer van die genootskap om te sê dit is waarna ons teel is diere wat aangepas is in Suid-Afrika, diere wat korrek is, diere wat regtig goed is tussen ander rasse. So dit is regtig 'n pleintjie vir die ras dat ons dit kan bereik om met 20 verskillende rasse uit dan die wenbil te kan hê.
En nog 'n hoogtepunt by vanjaar se Bloemskou was die Vrystaatse streeksronde van Plaas Media se 2023 Toyota SA Nasionale Jong Afslaerskompetisie. Vincent Pike het met die laure weggestap en dring deur na die finaal wat later vanjaar tydens Landbounuus sal plaasvind. Deedrey Lou het met Vincent gesels.
Wat is dit waarop jy verbeter het van laas jaar af wat jou vandag die winning edge gegee het?
Ek persoonlik sal dink is die selfvertroue om die mikrofoon te gryp en te sê, "Right, dit is wie ek is, dit is wat ek kom doen." Ek het voorheen is mens altyd onseker, "Right, dames en here, wat gaan ons maak?" Maar nou weet ek wat maak ons. Nou gesels ons met ambag en ons gesels met invloed. So ek dink as alles gaan oor hoe jy jouself oordra en dit is hoe jy die mense jou lees ook is met vertroulikheid, hoe jy jou professie ken. Ek dink dit is die grootste deel vir my gewees.
And last but not least, even in a war-torn areas, farmers can come up with innovative and positive plans. A Ukrainian farmer has developed a novel way to remove landmines left in his fields after the Russian invasion. Alexander Kritsov, a farmer from the village of Kharkove, has kitted out his tractor with protective panels stripped from Russian tanks. The tractor is operated by remote control. According to Reuters, explosive devices remained in about a third of Ukraine's fields after Russian forces were driven back from parts of eastern Ukraine last year. Kritsov decided to clear his own fields as he needs to sow and couldn't wait for the government's overworked officials, deminers, to clear the land. That's today's news and also our first news in a new format.
Controle vir Fortuner. Julle tref ongekende terrein, hoor?
Hoor jou controle? Onder het.
Kom in Fortuner, rowwe terrein op pad. Activeer 4x4.
Ontvang, geluid vir aksie.
Missie voltooi, papa.
Die splinternuwe Toyota Fortuner.
Controle, daar's 'n probleem.
Gee jou verbeelding die luksheid van vryheid.